Aaron Pynn, it has been so long since we've chatted, and we were, I feel like today's one of those days. Maybe you're having one of these days too, where I'm just like a little bit behind. I feel a little bit behind. I feel like I'm like rushing to the next thing. And maybe that's just because of the time change or something, but it's been so long since I've seen you. I feel like it's been since last November.
It has been a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. So how have you been?
Good. I mean, I was on your inaugural show, I think. I think I was your first guest.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
We were supposed to do again, but my job got in the way because he said, "Hey, you're going to start working Sundays." And I was like, well, that sucks. But now that we're at the season again, we're actually a Monday to Friday job, which is good. And lately it's been Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. I work my regular job, and what I consider my actual job, my career job type of thing, is on the channel that I do. So that's where a lot of my work goes in, whether I'm like reviewing movies or doing live streams or trying to catch up on sales or talking to people. So yeah, I barely get what you call downtime.
No, but it's great that you get to do more of what you love, right? I mean, that's the greatest thing is if you can explore movies and review things. I mean, that's awesome.
Oh no, I gotta say, I'm lucky that way. I mean, I've reached out to a few different companies, and I've started to do reviewing for different places like Mill Creek and upcoming, like, knock on wood, Umbrella Entertainment.
Right.
There's a couple other ones that I'm trying to sow the seeds to work with. So we'll see how that goes.
Sculder 22, hello. Also, my wife was checking the audio, and she says it's good. So.
Perfect.
Sculder 22 is here also. I was going to say something too. I absolutely love your live streams. I mean, you're just brilliant at it. The Cinematic Collectors here also, hello. And I also changed jobs recently too. So I was able to see more of your live streams, and then I was working later into the evening, and then I just was missing them for whatever reason. But I just want to say how welcoming you are in your live streams. I don't watch a lot of live streams in general because I feel like what you do is amazing, which is that you say hi to everyone. It's really hard to keep those things going all the time. A lot of people have live streams and they just don't say hi to everyone, or they take a break and then look at comments or whatever the case is. But you do such an awesome job at it and are very welcoming. And so those are the channels I like to seek out. So, kudos to you on that. I mean, I think it's amazing.
Well, one, thanks. It's the thing is that like everybody like takes their time to come in, and I've been in live streams like in the past where you don't acknowledge, or you don't, and you're not quite sure if they know you're there, or they'll have. There's times when there's like 600 or 700 people in certain things. I collect like comics as well, and like I've gone to an anonymous live stream, almost never getting a response.
Right.
Because there's just too many people.
Sure.
So we got Sculder, Cinematic Collector, movie versus film, and your wife there. So hey. To all.
And Robert's here, I think, for movie versus film. I think it's Robert. You can let us know, Robert, if that's you. So I mean, that's great. And I do want to mention too, I'm gonna list obviously a link to your channel in the description below once this is posted. And I will also put a link to your Patreon, which I know you recently started a Patreon. One of the videos I caught recently, which I thought was amazing, was you talked about how you designed some of the t-shirts and kind of went through that process and how. So I thought it'd be interesting if you want to talk about that a little bit more, because I thought it was kind of cool how you kind of went through it. I know people have gotten t-shirts now with pictures of you on there with Cult of Cinema, which I thought was awesome.
That actually surprised me. My good friend of mine, Michael Keane, actually, he has a channel, works for Screen Rant as well. There's an editor there. So he told me about this place called Teespring. So I've been asked for probably about 3 years since the channel really started to take off a little bit. To like, can you do merchandise? Can you do stuff like that? I went to art school, but I'm definitely not a graphic designer. And in no sense of the imagination. I think going to art school made me worse. I can't draw like a circle. But eventually we went to it, and me and my better half, we looked at like different ideas, and we wanted stuff that was going to be branded like well for like the company. So First off, there's a call to I do like reviews. Like if I think the movie's good, it's Call to Cinema approved. So that's like Call to Cinema approved was kind of our logo thing that we went with. But for almost like for kind of a lark, really, we did the Call to Cinema movie library T-shirt, and that one literally has just me like and there's movies, like my movie shelves are behind me, and it's kind of cartoonized because I don't want just a regular version of me. No, I don't want to scare kids.
Right.
But that's been the most popular shirt, and I was surprised, but happily surprised. It's
That's
nice
great.
that people actually like it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good. I was going to say too, you've recently, I know in the live videos, you may be using maybe new software or something like that, but I really miss like the secret TV room, and the other, I think you were in your movie room with more
movie library.
movies
They're
that were
coming back.
showing. Yeah. So I don't know if you were planning to go back to that, or you're just, going to continue in the room that you're in, which is totally fine. I noticed I was missing, because I used to love those videos where you went into the secret TV closet and you can kind of see what you have on your shelf and all.
Where I got my Rick and Morty gun. Usually when I do a secret TV one, I'll usually show a picture of the Rick and Morty gun before I make it. That's kind of like to let people know. I haven't done one in a while. I have done a few in the movie library, because I do on my Patreon channel.
Oh, gotcha.
I do like specific videos there, and there's been like there I can do a lot of pre-tape stuff, and for about a couple weeks ago, just like to give like a shout out. Hey there, Nate. Hey, Mr. Sushi.
Mr. Sushi, hello. Yeah.
To the people that were supporting me, and like to give people like maybe a taste of what was going on in the Patreon. I did like a viewer appreciation week, and so for a week I opened up like around 4 or 5 my locked videos, my Patreon videos, to everybody.
Oh, nice.
And kind of to let people see what I was doing. I did some stuff on, like I did a video on Born USA, the album. I did like an audio essay on that, and some different stuff. My least popular are my comic videos, and I'm such a comic geek. I'm so heartbroken every time I do it, and it doesn't do well. But it's that's why they've been mostly on the Patreon, because I do have a couple people that are hardcore comic fans.
Yeah, I saw I was going to say I saw the one on Born in the USA too. Is that something you think you're going to do more of? Because I thought that was I think people were really happy with that one. It seemed like.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. That was one of the more ones where it took a lot of research. There was like some writing that went into that, and several takes. But yeah, there'll definitely be more of those. I'm going to be doing more of the not just of music, but I'm going to be doing some on like in film as well. So nice. I always enjoy visual essays on basically on the releases. So to get the chance to do it myself was really fun.
That's cool.
But it takes a little bit more time.
Sure.
And I've been really happy to do it, and that's why it's been gone on my Patreon usually first, is because basically these are the guys, like I know they're hard, they're supporters, and so they'll let me know, because they're paying money to see the stuff, so they're very vocal and saying, okay, I like this, I don't like this, this is where it can improve, and it's great when it comes to stuff like that.
Well, Dan I Am is here, the Cinematic Collector. Love your comic stuff. I think you should do what you're passionate about too, because we can definitely, I can say as a YouTube viewer, I can see where that passion is, right? If you're really excited about something, sometimes it doesn't matter how many people are watching. If you're really excited about it, I feel like those are the videos you have to make, right? I mean, that's what I feel like.
That 100%. I mean, like when I started this, and I had like, God, our reach was the giant, something of 50 viewers, remember? So yeah. Yeah. The people are like coming and they're saying, I'm starting a YouTube channel now that you're successful. I was like, okay. How do you suggest you do it? Just don't try to do something just because you think you're going to make money.
Yep.
If you make money on YouTube, fantastic, wonderful. That's a plus.
Right.
But don't let it be for that. Let it be because you love it.
Yeah, because you love to do it. Right. Exactly. Yeah. That seems yeah. Bridget's Movie Corner is here too. Hello from the UK.
Hey there, Bridget. I love the UK.
I do too.
I can't wait to get back to London, actually.
I would love that. That's one trip I want to make too. As I'm thinking about, I was going to ask you just briefly about the pandemic and how things are going there too. I feel like we're kind of getting back to normal here a little bit. There's vaccinations going on and things like that, but I just didn't know, because I'm excited about potentially traveling at some point, right?
Well, same here. I mean, I can't wait to. Obviously, I was supposed to move to Morocco last year.
Right.
That got put on hold, and Morocco's very close to London.
Right.
So traveling to and from London then, it's going to be a lot easier. Right. So I can't wait for that. We're looking at our place. We're renovating our condo right now so that we can sell it, so we can upgrade to a bigger place. So that's what's taking a little bit longer right now.
Right. Nathan is here too. I wholeheartedly agree with you with you guys on making content that you love, right? And it should always be like that. I feel like when I make a video, I want to do it about something I'm really enjoying at that point, and kind of make a video about that. I feel like that's the most important thing. So Mr. Sushi said, would either of you two be willing to play a part in an amateur film? Or anyone in the chat? I mean, I started off as an actor too, so I'm gonna, so I think we can both say yes to that, maybe. Nathan was asking, what places would you both like to travel to for the first time? That's an interesting question, because I've been to London before, but it hasn't been many years. Any place you want to travel for the first time?
I haven't been to Paris yet. Her uncle has a place in Paris that we can stay, so that's always good there. I like to go to Canary Islands as well. Honestly, at this point, man, I like to go to a beach with a few drinks and just relax.
Yeah, exactly.
So probably somewhere like Hawaii, somewhere like that. So
I was going to say
to chill.
Yeah, I was going to say Hawaii. I've never been to Hawaii, so that would definitely be someplace I would like to go. That's probably high on the list for me, for sure. So, we have a topic today, but we're slowly going to get into it here too. I wanted to ask you too about, I remember when you were talking about Morocco before, and how you had to maybe ship some of your media there, right? Your physical media had to go there, right? So correct me if I'm wrong here, but in the movie room, I thought you said you had some empty boxes because you had to ship some of the, some of the movies are there now, right? Is that?
Yeah. Like there's when I went to Morocco in January of last year, oh my God, so long ago, I got these big binders that you put movies in.
Right.
So I took the first around 1,000, 1,500s, not a lot actually, discs there. And so all my Criterions are there. A bunch of my other films are there as well, like some of my cult epics and stuff are there. I was actually going to make a video on this box set from cult epics, and I realized that it was in Morocco, so that stopped that one.
Right.
But yeah, I got to crate everything up to get it over there eventually.
Right.
But and the hardest part, I guess, so we got 3 cats, so we don't want to put them in the back part of the plane or anything like that. So we got probably her mom or one of her sisters is going to come over so we can have the cat actually with us. I moved to Morocco.
I guess that's news. I guess that's news to Mr. Sushi, right? I thought that was widely known, but maybe not.
No, it's it was supposed to be last year. Why I started to go and do the Patreon, why I started to make the merchandise and all that type of stuff, is because for the first year and a half that I'm going to Morocco, I'm learning French. And eventually I'll be teaching and running a bed and breakfast as well.
Nice.
But all that takes time. So sad as it sounds, YouTube going to be my main source of income.
Yeah, that's going to be it. No, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to see videos from Morocco. I mean, when am I ever going to go to Morocco? I feel like it's going to be great to see you there and to do, different things. Unless we all come to stay at your bed and breakfast and then we watch movies there when we come over.
You got to come to Morocco. The place is huge, so that's always good.
You can share your learning of French. That's the only I took French in high school, but I don't know many words anymore. But anyway,
so I'm so bad at it.
Matthew is here. Brian is here. Did I miss anyone here?
Hey.
IB Collectibles is here as well. We are going to talk about physical media, but I guess we can slowly get into it. What I was going to ask you about is, there's been so much discussion about physical media and what you should do, how you should collect it. I'm going through a little bit of a phase right now where maybe it's kind of, I know a lot of media collectors go through this kind of fear of missing out. And I know with Hammer Volume 6 coming out from Indicator, that's one thing I wanted to ask you about today, because I love the artwork on that, by the way. That Volume 6, Hammer Volume 6 looks really great. And I know that's coming out later this year. But what happened with me is I have Hammer Volume 3 and 4, and I missed out on 1 and 2. So, I know there's a lot of people too that have this idea that you want it to be complete, right? You want it to be complete all the way through. So then what do you do? Do you trade something in and try to get one off eBay, which is a huge amount, right, to do that? Or do you just kind of let your collection miss those things for a while? Obviously, I should have bought those when I had when I had the chance. I think Volume 2 is out of print as well, right? Hammer Volume 2 is out of print.
Volume 1, 2, 3, and 4 out of print right now.
Yeah, no, I have 3 and 4, so I feel lucky there. But what do you do though? Do you is that something that you do if you see a gap in your collection, or do you just kind of buy right away when you see it and then go from there?
Sometimes, like I'm a completionist, so I try to buy. I try to stay away from scalpers and eBay as
Right.
much as I can. If I can get it for like a decent price, um, obviously. But some things I just missed out on,
Right.
and I know that I gotta be like, I gotta decide, prioritize what I want to collect
Right.
and what things are going to be are big for my collection. I found that out when I started collecting comic omnibuses. Those things go to print extraordinarily fast, and they'll
Right.
come back and print for like 7 to 14 years if they come
Right.
back and print
Exactly.
at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to make that decision. Okay, am I collecting this or am I collecting this? I'm going to miss out on something.
Yeah. 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 That's true. So, Cooper Glover said, "Do you have a region free player?" I don't have one yet, but that's definitely on my list to get. And I have
You
some
need to
region
read your free
B.
day.
Yeah. No, I definitely need to do that for sure. So Matthew was saying you could piecemeal the other titles individually, but generally what I do, especially for those hammer sets, and again, Indicator has so many great, sets. I mean, it's just amazing. I think if I remember correctly, the Bud Bedecker set is also out of print, but I have a copy of that too. So I'm happy that I have, that in my collection. So I have a few that have gone out of print, but if I see the price go down someplace, I get it. Or sometimes I'll get the standard edition. If the limited edition is gone, sometimes I'll get the standard edition if it still has some extra features on it. But Cinematic Collector says I break every rule of collecting and I'm out of control. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. The good thing with Indicator is if you buy the standard edition, the only thing you're missing out on is the booklet.
The booklet. Okay, gotcha.
That's the thing. There, all the features are going to still be there.
Yeah, Nathan was saying Indicator out of print. He really wants a good version of Jason and the Argonauts.
You've never seen Jason and the Argonauts. You've got to see Jason and the Argonauts.
I've seen it years ago, I think, but it's been a long time. So, today we're going to talk about there's a big Kino sale going on. There's a March Madness sale. There's a big Shout Select sale going on, and I also pulled some Warner Archive titles too, because I think Warner Archive had probably one of their last, if not the last, 4 for 44 sale. Because I think it's going to change. I think they're going to change the way the sale goes. At least that's what I've read anyway. So I placed an order, but I still haven't received it yet. I think they sent me an email and they said that, some of the orders are delayed because of all the orders that were placed. I love it that you're drinking tea too, by the way, today, because usually at the end of a video, you say it's time for tea, right?
Oh, I'm always drinking. Even in my videos, I'm drinking tea, but I'm
even during the videos. Yeah. Gotcha. So I think we're going to show some of those, but I wanted to kind of get your feeling also on, physical media this year too. I feel like it's going better than ever. Maybe not as good as 2020, but I feel like I'm still participating in a lot of sales. I'm filling in the gaps. I'm trying to spend some time with focusing, my attention on specific areas in my collection, like filling in my Martin Scorsese movies as an example is one of the things I'm doing. But I wanted to kind of get your take on how you think physical media is doing in the context of all the streaming services and things like that.
Well, for a time when people are saying, "Oh, physical media must be dying because of the whole the streaming services," there's more physical media and more collector's editions and special editions than have ever been available before.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a great time to pick up to get stuff that you would never imagine.
Right.
Never in a million years when I was starting to collect, I think, you know what? There's going to be an Andy Milligan box set out there. Yeah, never would have guessed that. But it's an exciting time.
I think so too.
Basically, it's gone from being casual collecting from basically, the regular stuff at your local Walmart, and they'd have lots of shelves of stuff, lots of movies.
Yeah.
But there'd be lots of the same type of movies over and over.
Right.
And you wouldn't get a lot of special features. It would just be the film. You get every once in a while you get certain things. But now there's not as many rows of movies into your local Walmart or your Target or your Best Buy, anywhere like that. However, that's because most people are buying stuff online, buying directly from the company. And because money is going directly into the company, that allows the company to give you better remasters and more special features on those products. So every time you buy from a Vinegar Syndrome or an Indicator or a Severin directly, then that money is going directly to the company itself.
Right.
And that enables them to put out more and put out better releases. And I think that's why we're starting to get a lot more like box sets and special limited editions for stuff. Is because a lot more people are actually funding them themselves as opposed to before when we go to a Walmart or Best Buy and pick it up. And there would be a cut. They obviously be taken. They'd Best Buy, Walmart, they get them for a special price or they send them back, type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think the whole idea behind collecting anyway in general is just that you can you can watch things when you want to watch, right? I mean, that's the idea.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, how many times have you gone on Netflix and you said, I'm going to watch this, and it's not there anymore? A lot, actually, especially me. And there's a lot of streaming services out there for a lot, and I do have a couple. I got like Crave because I want to watch the Justice League movie. But only thing a streaming service does for me is it makes me want to buy more movies, because I'll see something on that I like, and it's not good enough for me just to watch it. I want the special features. I want the commentaries. I want all that type of stuff.
Yeah, there was a lot of good information on the Zack Snyder cut, right, of Justice League, which I saw part of. I haven't made it all the way through there, but I don't know if you have an opinion on that, since you were talking about.
I loved it, actually. I was one of the people that said I didn't care about the Zack Snyder cut coming out. I wasn't one of those release the Snyder cut guys. And now I'm like, yeah, let's Snyder do more, because it is so much better than what we initially
the original
got.
one.
I actually did a video on it last night.
Yeah.
With my better half, she's not in many of my videos, but last night when I did my Saturday video, she was in my video for most of the video.
Oh, nice. Well, we should do that more, right? I mean, that sounds fun.
It's hard getting her in there, but she's very passionate about that. She likes that film a lot, actually.
That's good. That's good.
In here talking, I was talking about the film, and she's from their chair. She kind of inched over it. She was the star of the show.
It's a surprise, right? Yeah. Matthew was saying streaming services, Arrow Player, Criterion Channel, which I have the Criterion Channel as well. Mr. Sushi says, I love Mubi, which I hear is really good too. And I haven't participated in Mubi, but it has a lot of good stuff on there. Cooper Glover, I don't have the Criterion Channel right now, but I think you can save a lot of money on Criterions. I would agree with that too. I like it that you can kind of preview things as well. I was thinking of you the other night too, because I was watching Cruel Jaws for the first time, because I'm a big Jaws fan, but Cruel Jaws is on Amazon Prime right now. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah. And so I thought, and I haven't worked my way all the way through it, but I've watched a little bit. I've probably watched like maybe 10 or 15 minutes of it, and then I had to do something else. But Nathan says he was very surprised by the Snyder cut. I agree with that guy, Aaron. I didn't think much of it. I was surprised in a good way. That's exactly what I do with Criterion, Matthew says as well, right? So you can kind of preview things, because that's the other thing too. Like, I was watching a movie, which I think is a brilliant movie, by the way, and it just kind of came to mind, called Minding the Gap, which I think is a brilliant documentary. I think I was watching that actually on Amazon Prime. And I thought, this is a brilliant movie. It's a great documentary, but I don't know that I would want to own it necessarily. I think it's like a one watch type of thing for me, whereas other documentaries or other things I would rewatch over and over again. I understand
that. I mean, like, for me, like, and Matthew said up there, like, some streaming services actually support the companies when they're actually the streaming services done by the company themselves.
Yeah.
Not so much like a Netflix, but like a Criterion supports Criterion. When Vinegar Cinema originally came about, for a while they had like a streaming service, and I was one of the first people that had it. No surprise there. But they didn't keep it going. They just had it for a little while to like support some releases that they had coming. And I guess in the last couple of years, Vinegar Cinema took off, like, needless to say. Right.
Yeah. Matthew was saying too that he says, my wife got me some Criterion DVDs of Nashville and Harold and Maude. Interesting thing about some of these Criterion titles, also now out of print, but they've gone to Paramount Plus, right? So Harold and Maude, I'm not sure if Nashville was in that list, but I have a couple of those. I think Rosemary's Baby was on that list as well. And I saw the new Paramount cover for Rosemary's Baby, and I didn't like it at all. It's like a very bright green thing. I don't know. I was like, this is bad, So I think if you have a chance to pick up those Criterion titles now, probably a good idea to do that.
Nashville's amazing. I love Nashville.
Nashville's a great movie. Yeah, for sure. The other thing you mentioned too, when there was a lot of discussion about collecting and what should we collect, how should we collect things, I like your opinion about, and again, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you were mentioning that sometimes you have to leave a film on your shelf for a while because you might get into it later, years later. There's lots of films like that. I know for me anyway, whether it's mood or maybe it's not the right time in my life to be watching certain things, but if I wait a couple of years and I put it on, I go, wow, this is great. I didn't even know about it. So a lot of people maybe are giving away things, which I always think it's a great idea to give away things and, to donate, especially if you're upgrading, things like that. But a lot of times it's good to leave something on your shelf because you might get into it later, right?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like, you never know what you're going to like, and sometimes you grow into a film, and sometimes you grow out of a film too. That's both can happen. It's good to pay it forward. I kind of term minimalism, which sort of it took off. It was meant like as kind of hopefully a catchy way for the video title, but people have used the term since then, and I actually I dig that people are still using it.
Sure.
But it wasn't meant in a negative way. It was meant like people were going to collecting in different ways, and I was just giving my thoughts at the time on like when you're collecting, like what to keep and what to let go of.
Yeah.
And like obviously it's hard. I mean, like I'm myself, like right this year especially, I've had to pare down a lot on what I can collect.
Sure.
Like I haven't really let go of anything, but I haven't bought as much as I would normally buy either. And
Right.
that's basically because it's been a tough time, like for a lot of people this year.
Yeah, exactly right. I know. Yeah, I know that I usually wait for sales. People that watch my channel know I wait for sales too, for the most part, unless it's something I really want to pick up. Like I skipped out on the Dawn of the Dead, set, that hard box set, but now I'm looking. I know there's a standard edition coming out too. I basically just want the film. In many cases, I want to just have the film in my collection. So sometimes I can wait for it. Sometimes I can wait for movies to go on sale. And wait for maybe a different edition of it, and I don't have to have all the special features for some things. I love special features, as you know, but I'm just.
What kills me is there's way too many sales at one time. That's everybody.
Oh, I
says
know. That's right. Yeah.
So
we were talking about. I just wanted to before we continue here too. Kubrick Lover says he saw Sex Lies and Videotape back in the '80s, bought the Criterion fairly recently. I'm open to change my mind on it. I think I can look at it differently now. Some movies for me hold up, and then sometimes they don't. I was watching an old 70s movie the other day, and I thought, wow, I could watch this movie all day, every day. And it's a movie with Gene Hackman called Night Moves, which is actually come. I have a digital copy of it, but I'm getting physical from the. I think that was in the 4x4, sale. But I just, for me, I connect to 70s movies. I don't know why. It's the music, it's the era, it's the cars, it's a lot of different things. But I have never gotten tired of those. I mean, I can watch them all the time. So I think we were going to show some Kino titles, right? We can start to do that if you want.
Something like that. Yeah, I put some Kino titles in the back.
Yeah, I have some Kino titles here. Speaking of 70s movies, I'll start with this one and then feel free to jump in. But this is one of my favorite all-time movies, the original version of The Taking of Pelham 123, which is a Kino. This is from 1974. I don't know if you can see that with all the glare there, but this has some extra features on it as well. I don't know if you have this one.
I don't have that one yet, but I love the movie.
But this is a great movie with Robert Shaw, Walter Matthau. I mean, just a classic. I love the original better than the remake, and I think this one was released as like a. I was reluctant to pull the wrapper off it in the beginning because it said like 45th anniversary or some random year, or no, it was 42nd anniversary or something like that. You know how they, when they do that.
42nd.
Yeah, 42nd year anniversary. But I could watch this movie, any day of the week, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm so happy to have this one. And I think it's still available. Yeah.
One that I can watch any day of the week. And it's one of my, maybe this is telling for me, actually. One of my favorite Kino releases, like ever, is Eye of the Jury.
Oh, really? Wow.
Like, I'm an 80s kid.
Yeah, 80s. Right. There you go. Yeah.
Eye of the Jury is very 80s. But this was it was, I don't know if you can make it now. It was very much like, this is a very violent film. There, there's lots of nudity. It's Armando Santi plays Mike Hammer. Character Mike Hammer is kind of the ladies' man. Lauren Landon is in this one here. A great cast. Barbara Carrera, a wonderful murder mystery, fantastically creepy serial killer is in this film.
Nice.
So well done. It's got an audio commentary by Nathaniel Thompson. Who does amazing commentaries. Yeah. And if you haven't checked this out, I really recommend that you do.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I haven't seen that. I have to.
You got to see it. This is awesome.
Wow, that's so cool. I like how Richard called us the Blue Tubers. I think that's hilarious.
Pretty true.
We used that before. Favorite Blue Tubers. Did I miss one? Let's see. Kubrick Lover said he didn't see that version of Pelham 123, which, like I said, it's much better than the remake. I think anyway.
100 times actually.
Dave is here as well. He said hello. Let's see. What do I have here next? Another one too that I think is really good from Kino, and it's this one here, The Laughing Policeman, Walter Matthau. I guess I'm on a Walter Matthau kick these days, but The Laughing Policeman, Bruce Dern. I've been thinking about getting a copy of Silent Running, which is one of my favorite Bruce Dern films, but this one is really great, The Laughing Policeman. Have you seen this one, and do you have this one?
Actually, that almost made my list because I actually really like that film.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I mean, really good. I mean, I'm a fan of these kind of 70s. This is from 73.
See, Mathau's underrated. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
When it comes
I was
to
watching him. I was watching him in this movie. Have you ever heard of a movie called A New Leaf? It's an Elaine May film with Walter Matthau, and he plays kind of a unique character in that movie. Elaine May directed it. She only, I think, directed a couple of movies, but it's a great film if you get a chance. It's called A New Leaf, and it's basically Walter Matthau realizing he's going to lose all of his money, and so he has to kind of get married within a certain period of time so he can, reestablish himself basically. But it's a great film.
I think I've seen it years ago, but I don't own it, which is kind of
it's a good one.
Here's a double feature for you.
Yeah.
2 horror centric titles, kind of horror titles, horror comedy and horror. Nightmare Beach by Umberto Lenzi, which I really enjoy. And we got Highway to Hell.
Highway to Hell. Look at that.
So Highway to Hell. Talk about it first. This one is really, really good. It's got what a cast on this one here. You have let's say Chad Lowe, Christy Swanson, C.J. Graham. That's Jason from Part 6, Friday 13th, guys. You've got Pamela Gidley, Kevin Peter Hall, who played the Predator, Jerry Stiller, Ben Stiller, Ann Mara, Amy Stiller. You got Gilbert Gottfried's Hitler, and the great Richard Farnsworth in this one as well. So this is a really fun film. A lot of people goes under the radar with a lot of people. Yeah, but it's really cool. And you get a commentary on here as well with the director, and a good thing with Steve Johnson. It's a great makeup artist from the 80s who worked on this film here. This is C.J. Graham, the guy that played Jason. The other one was the Umberto Lenzi directed Nightmare Beach. Now this is a really cool one. It's kind of like a combination between a slasher and a giallo, more slasher than giallo, but it has a great score from Claudio Simonetti, who works with the Goblin. Good cast on here as well. You got Michael Parks, John Saxon, Lance Segal, Sarah Buxton. Just an incredible cast. Auto commentary with Sam Deegan. I love Sam Deegan's commentaries. And interview with Claudio Simonetti as well. And nice. I love this film. Nice.
That is nice. Sculder said he got New Leaf from Eureka, which I know I've seen it on Amazon, but Highway to Hell rocks. Matthew says, did the Highway to Hell movie come out after the AC/DC album? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the AC/DC album's in the late 70s, early 80s, right? So right. Because that's around the mid 80s.
Nice. Let's see here. What else do I have here? Oh, I guess I'm just in this vein today. These are the ones I picked. It's mostly crime dramas, but The Long Goodbye. You must have this one, right? This is such a slow burn movie, but it's great. I mean, Altman, Robert Altman at his finest, right? I think. Yeah. 1973 again. I just randomly grabbed some, but this is it's all from the 70s, I guess. I'll have to see if I have one from the 80s here, but it's the 70s. The Long Goodbye. I just love Elliot Gould. I mean, I think some people think that movie is really slow. The other thing is somebody who I feel like is really maybe underrated, but Sterling Hayden, I would watch in anything. Yeah. I think he's brilliant. I mean, some of the old movies he was in. Wasn't he in The Asphalt Jungle, but also Dr. Strangelove and so many other movies? I mean, I was just watching. Oh yeah. He was just great. I think in real life he was. I know there's some YouTube videos out there of Sterling Hayden doing interviews and stuff, and I think he was kind of a little out there. Let's say that. So, what do you have next there?
I got a double feature again because Kino has box sets, Flies and Grows.
Oh, that's right, the box sets.
And to do some amazing box sets. One is right here, The Outer Limits.
The Outer Limits. I love that show. Love that show. Yeah.
And I recommend this. The second season's out as well with a ton of features on it. Definitely recommend that. And this is one that not enough people pick up, and that's OSS 117.
Is that like the
really good film?
It's really great Bond. Set. It's kind of a Bond, right? Isn't it?
Well, the films were started pre-Bond and then become more Bond-like as Bond becomes popular. Like you get the first two are with Curran Matthews, and I was a huge Curran Matthews fan growing up. So then you get number 3. I think it's John Gavin is the 5th one, and it's Frederick Stafford in the 3rd and 4th film. But the second one is my favorite, Panic in Bangkok, because not only does it have Curran Matthews, but it's got Robert Hassan, who is one of my favorite French actors. He plays like this evil Dr. No-ish type character. It's really good.
Wow. I'll definitely have to get that. Yeah, I definitely have to pick that up. It looks great.
It's an excellent set. Like we had pre-ordered the set, and we were in Ontario at the time. So we were like, okay, maybe we can't get it right now. So we canceled the pre-order. And we got home, and the pre-order, and it was waiting in our mailbox, so we didn't get the cancel through in time. And we started watching it, and we're like, we're so glad that didn't go through, because these were such good films. Starts out black and white for the first film, the other 4 are in color, and it's just a really cool set. If you love the James Bondian stuff, if you love like spy thrillers in general, then these are really good, really fun.
That's great. That's great. I only have one box set, and it's the Ida Lupino set from Kino. I don't know if you've seen that one, but yeah, it's really funny. I was watching the I can never remember. It's the I think it's the Sea Wolf. Wasn't she in that? The Sea Wolf. That was the first Ida Lupino movie I think I saw, and I was just really fascinated by her, and it was so great to get kind of a history of her movies. She directed a lot of films as well. So I have that set to study. When I have a chance, for sure. So, let's see if I'm missing anything here. In the Kubrick Lover says, I met Robert Altman's widow when they had some kind of tribute, and she signed the Robert Altman book. I love Robert Altman. I'm a huge Robert Altman fan for sure. Sculder says, I've gone box set crazy with Kino. I have like 10, because they have those. Don't they have those film noir sets? Right? They have those. There's a bunch of film noir sets that are really good.
Oh my God, Kino has become like remember when like Warner used to do all those like sets that came out, like the film noir sets and the Warner Brothers gangster sets and the silver screen sets based on different actors? Kino's probably pretty much taken that mantle up for that. They do those now. Yeah,
which is great. I mean, it's great to see a company doing that. Matthew says, Ida Lupino is good in The Big Knife and Roadhouse. I don't think it's in that. I didn't pull that set today, but I don't think it's in that particular set that I have. But all right, let's see. It's so funny we haven't picked any duplicates yet, but let's see. I'll pick one not from this. I think this is not from the 70s. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. I feel like Marty with Ernest Borgnine from 1955, and I just think Ernest Borgnine is brilliant in this. What a brilliant characterization he does. Really, really underrated. I don't know if you've seen this one or if you like this one, but I just love this movie. This is another film that I could watch. Now, this is from the 50s. But I could definitely watch it over and over again and never get tired of it. There's, so he gives such a subtle performance in this movie that I think is really great.
Borgman's great. Like that is one of his best roles. That's one
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, besides the Poseidon Adventure. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, go ahead.
And Airwolf.
Marty is kind of a tearjerker. Kubrick Lover was saying, is Marty a tearjerker? I feel like it's a little sad. It can be a little bit, sad, just him as a character, trying to find a date and everything like that. But anyway,
I could relate.
I can relate to that for sure.
All right, cheesy stuff, double feature.
There you go.
To it.
Yeah.
Redemption, because Kino does this whole line of like horror centric titles, Redemption. So I figured got to put at least one Redemption on there. And Pete Walker's Schizo. Really love this film. I love Pete Walker in general.
Right.
If you haven't picked up the Pete Walker stuff, like they did them in sets as well. But I got the second set and about the first 5 like on their own from DVD Beaver, actually one of the companies. But really good film. The title does give a bit of it away, though. But
just a little bit, right?
Yeah, But it's a really fun title. Lynn Frederick stars in this one, and she's really good in this. And Pete Walker, again, incredible. And the other one I chose was my favorite blaxploitation horror film, and it's Sugar Hill. I think this is probably like I like this better than Blackula. I like this better than this is a one for me. This one is really good. It's got a great cast. It's got Robert Corey, of course, from Count Yorga. He plays the villain in this, the bad guy. It is so well done. It is so well written. Like the music, everything is just on par. And I don't hear enough people talk about it. Like when they go into blaxploitation, they usually forget this one. And this one is so good. Such a great film.
Wow. They have such a big library there. I mean, of movies. It's, so great to see. Kubrick Lover says, I bought Sugar Hill during the Kino Lorber sale recently.
Hopefully I love it. I love the film, Kubrick.
Yeah. And this is a March sale, right? It's going to go on till I guess another week here too, right? I still need to place an order because I have some stuff in my cart right now, but I haven't placed my order yet. But Matthew says we're pulling some good titles. Yeah, I feel like it's so funny that you've got a great array of titles, and I have some titles here too that I think are amazing. This is another one from let's see. All right, it's 76, but here you go. Gator, Burt Reynolds, right? I feel like Burt Reynolds in the 70s is where you want to see Burt Reynolds. I mean, this is classic Burt Reynolds, right? And this has got the Back to the Bayou Part 2 featurette on the back too. So they have, Kino does have some extra features. I don't know that they're not always that great, but I love seeing extra features on anything.
The Back to the Bayou featurettes are especially good. I love Gator. I like White Lightning a little bit better.
I have that one too, White Lightning. Yeah,
great film. It's like same character, obviously.
Yeah.
And both of those they're just so good.
Oh yeah.
And if you buy one, you got to buy the other guys because White Lightning and Gator looks the sequel.
Exactly right.
That's his character's name.
Yeah.
But there's that sequence in White Lightning where basically he's in prison. And he gets out to solve the murder of his brother.
Yep.
And he's working on the side of obviously kind of law enforcement. It goes back to his parents' house, and his dad's like a long time rum runner, and he's like he can't deal with the fact that his son is working in any way for law enforcement because he's so, even though it's to solve his other son's murder, because he's just so much against it, and it's such a raw moment in the film, and it just makes you feel so much for the character. And that one scene pretty much lays out and maps out the entirety of what the character Gator is like and his what his youth has been like.
Right. Yeah, it's a great, those are two great films for sure. So love it.
Don't feature it again because I'm cheating. Okay, so first up is Avenging Force with Michael Dudikoff. This, nice. By the way, guys, is sort of a sequel to another film which starred Chuck Norris called Invasion USA. So this is the same character from Invasion USA, but played by Michael Dudikoff. I'll be honest with you, this is better than Invasion USA. And getting into it too much, it's kind of has what's the word I want to say? It's very relevant for today. Just trust me, but see what I mean. So basically, you have Matt Hunter, from Invasion USA. But he's going back to see his friend, who's played by, of course, Steve James, who's in a lot of Michael Dudikoff films. This was directed by Sam Furstenberg, who directs a lot of these canon films. This is a canon film. Again, an amazing cast. John P. Ryan's in this one. And it is action all throughout. And you do not know who's going to live. You really don't know who's going to live in this one.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter if you're a friend or a kid, you could die.
Is that an 80s film? Is that 80s?
It was 86. This one was
86. Wow.
Because I think Invasion USA might have been around 84, so around a year or two later.
8 or 6, yeah. Gotcha.
And the other one I chose was this one because I think everybody should have this one in their collection. It's just such a fun film. It's a serial and is The Adventures of Captain Marvel.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Wow.
So this is the original. It's 2 to set. There's commentaries on every one of them by different people. Everyone from Jerry Beck to Constance Nassar to Leonard Maltin. So a lot of really good commentaries. It's a very different, probably, if you've seen Shazam, the movie, this is very different because the bad guys are doing all this stuff and then they go to run away type of thing. So he picks up their Gatling gun and he starts shooting the bad guys and throwing off of things. Like he's a pretty bloodthirsty guy. What's neat about this too is there's a booklet on the inside.
Oh, nice.
And like a lot of these here, so people don't realize, but a lot of these have alternate artwork, different features. Kino's up their game when it's come to doing their special features and stuff, especially with those slipcover editions like Trilogy of Terror and The Night Stalker. Are you gonna
get the 4K of Spaceballs? Are you gonna do that?
I'm thinking maybe. Hey there, Vanessa.
Hey Vanessa, how's it going?
I got so many copies of Spaceballs left, so they.
No, I've had Spaceballs before, but my wife's not the biggest fan of it. But I love it though, I have to say. So I'm really thinking about that 4K for sure. So. Why not, right? Some of these films you buy over and over again, right? And you have to.
You have no idea how many films about a New York Ripper. You have no idea how many versions of New York Ripper I got in my collection. I just love that film. It's so weird.
Oh my goodness. I think this is one of the last ones I have. Let's see. Let's see. This is one that maybe I've talked about on my channel before, but this is a great Sidney Lumet film called The Offense with Sean Connery. But Sean Connery did 5 films with Sidney Lumet, and this I think is one of the best movies he did with him. Again, it's another police drama, but he's so different in this movie. We were just talking about, you're set with the kind of pseudo 007. This is a great film if you haven't seen it, and Sidney Lumet also at his best here. And I think Sidney Lumet really challenged Sean Connery to be something different than James Bond, right? So. If you haven't seen, I don't know if you've seen this one or not, but there's some amazing acting in this movie, for sure.
It's one of the better Sean Connery films. bar none. Like Silly the Matter, like it is a fantastic film. Trevor Howard, a late film for Trevor Howard.
Oh yeah,
Um, but yeah, I got one last one, and this was on DVD because I collect DVDs back in the day. I'm older. This is the most 80s. This is one of the most 80s films I got in my collection. 80s action films. So if you don't have this movie, Dave, man, you gotta get
it. I gotta get it. Yeah.
So it's called, and it's got to even look at the 80s action title. So you ready? Steel Justice.
Oh yes, I've heard of that. I don't have it, but I've. Yeah.
So this stars. If the guy looks familiar, that's the guy from, of course, Karate Kid. And for those younger people, from Cobra Kai, the series. So yeah, Martin Kove was in this. Steel Award. It was shot in Canada. It's obvious. Ronnie Cox, Bernie Casey, Joseph Campanella. Great cast, but a weird film. So this movie starts out with him basically over. I'm not sure if it's Vietnam or somewhere like that. So you know how insane this movie is going to be when he's going after the villain. And he goes down in this underground area. And what the villain has done to try his ultimate trap for him is there's a mouse, right? With a grenade on his back. So you know when you see him trying to, stop this mouse with grenade on his back, that you're in for a good time.
You're in it. Yeah, it sounds like a good time right there.
There's an 80s, literally these almost stopped the movie to do an 80s music video in the middle of this film. There is a weird relationship between him and Celia Ward, who have a romantic relationship. And there's what's her name again? Jan Gan Boy, who plays like a friend of one of his friends of his family, like a daughter of his family. But they almost have this I guess she's supposed to be young, but she doesn't look young. The relationship doesn't look like, a guy and a girl and kind of like an adopted daughter type thing. It looks like a guy and a girl and maybe another girl, like a menage a trois type of thing. It's really insane, but you got to own the film. It is so good.
Nice. I'm glad we picked, you picked 80s films. We didn't talk about this beforehand, but I picked 70s films and I just grabbed some that I had that were some of my favorites, but it's interesting. You picked mostly 80s films, I feel like, and I picked mostly 70s films. So if you're a fan of any of those eras, you've got some choices here from Kino Lorber, right?
Oh, you get some nice, serious, good stuff from Dave and some insane stuff from me.
You have the best of both right there, right? Matthew says, Night Train to Terror for stopping the film for an 80s video as well. Why not, right? Yeah, why not? Right.
That song is always stuck in my head every time I hear the title. Have you seen Night Train to Terror?
I haven't seen Night Train to Terror yet.
You gotta see Night Train to Terror. And it is so weird. It's an anthology, horror anthology.
Nice. I know we wanted to show some. I have some Warner Archive titles here I can show quickly, but then we're going to talk about Shout Select as well, right? Because they're doing a sale. Warner Archive, the sale is done already.
Probably the underrated label out there right now, surprisingly, because Shout's a bigger company, but not a lot of people do talk about Shout Select. I don't find.
Yeah. So do you want to show what you have for that? I can show the one thing I have from Shout Select, which I did not get during the sale, but I've had this. I bought it when it was on special last time.
Oh, I love that.
This one.
That's so bad.
Yeah. Do you have this one?
I don't. I mean, I'm a huge Abbott and Costello fan. I'm trying to convince my better half she's not a huge Abbott and Costello fan.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, I had those DVD sets, which I'm not even sure where they were from, but the price came down this one last year, and I picked it up really quickly because I just wanted to get it, and I'm so excited. This one has a booklet in it, and it's got the package got a nice hard case to it as well. And I just absolutely love it. Yeah, I was going to see if I can. Let me see if I can get the booklet out here. Maybe I can show it. Well, I'll show the back of one of these, and then you can see kind of the back, so it has like some of the original kind of poster style. I love the old style, just kind of old style, thing here too. Let me see the booklet. Is it here? There's the booklet, and it's got some cool photographs and just artwork and posters and stuff from the original. So anyway, I love Abbott and Costello. If I need a good laugh, that's where I'm going. That's one place I'm going. But you got to get that if you can, Aaron. You got to get that.
I know. I love Abbott and Costello. I grew up with Abbott and Costello.
Yeah.
Not in my house or anything like that. But I grew up watching that too.
They weren't in your house. Yeah. But I'm sure you have much more than I do. I need to participate in that sale, so you're going to give me some recommendations probably that I'm going to go.
Hopefully you'll like some of these. They're not all 80s stuff. A lot of 80s stuff. Not all 80s stuff though. Okay, first one I think you might like actually. Is a double feature with Robert Mitchum. And in it, it is cool. He gets to play an older Philip Marlowe, and the lean into the fact that Robert Mitchum's older, and he's playing an older, kind of gruffer Philip Marlowe, and it really works. And it is Farewell, My Lovely and Big Sleep.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
two really good ones. One of them is directed by Dick Richards. The other one's directed by Michael Winner. Great casts over these films. We got like in the first one, you got Charlotte Rampling, Sylvia Miles, John Arlen, Harry Dean Stanton, Sylvester Stallone in a small role. Second one, you get like Candy Clark, Oliver Reed, Joan Collins, Edward Fox, John Mills. Just incredible cast.
Classic.
Really good film. It's a double feature. There's like there's interview with Michael Winner, one with Sarah Miles. Just some really good stuff on here. It's just like a single disc release, but really enjoyed it. And I love the kind of the film noir. And you can see like there's the older.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah,
Philip Marlowe.
I love that. I love that.
And I love the fact that these, they didn't just say, okay, it's just Philip Marlowe. He can just do what he normally does. They lean into the fact, okay, he's older. He's getting up there. Next up is classic comedy, which I really love. The great interview, like a conversation between Steve Martin and Carl Reiner on here. And this is The Jerk, which is a really, really fun little film.
I love that.
It stands the test of time. Like, you can not watch The Jerk 2, though, please. It's like, it was a TV film. It was really bad. But no, this is really good. My favorite Steve Martin film is still The Man with Two Brains. But
I have that. Wait, I have that one. I pulled that one. Yeah. Do you have this as a Warner Archive release? Do you have this one?
It's a great film. I mean, I saw that in theater.
Yeah, but do you have the art? Do you have this one? Do you have this one?
No, I don't. It's hard to get Warner Archives here in Canada.
Oh, Warner Archive. It's hard to get them, yeah. But yeah, this is one of the ones I pulled from Warner Archive, one of the first ones I got, which was really great.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah, there you go. The Man with Two Brains. I think it has some classic jokes. Get that cat out of here. I love that. I love that one.
I love that. I don't want to give anything away, but in the elevator with the killer reveal.
Yeah.
That's so good.
That's a classic right there.
Dragnet.
Yeah.
Love this release. This has a really great, like, back in the day, they'd have like TV shows to promote films. So they had this here thing called like basically Just the Facts, which was a TV special that came on in the 80s with Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd. And they were talking, and it's not just a TV special like promoting the film. Most of the TV special is not about the Dragnet film. It's about the TV series and the movie and Jack Webb. And it is this incredibly like well done, thorough documentary on Dragnet, the series. And it's just at the end of it, they throw in like, oh, and here's some stuff from the new one. But it's so well done, and it's such a great time capsule of the day. Something that they don't do anymore with television, but I really, really love this. And it is such a good one. Yeah,
just to confirm, Shout Select, they're doing a 50% off sale. Is that what they're doing? Because
50% off sale.
It's 50% off. Yeah. So I mean, this is a good time to catch up. I'm just catching up with some of the comments here. Sculder said the ANC set with the and with the Anne Bancroft box are very high on the list. Which that Anne Bancroft set looks really good. Matthew was saying Shout Select put out the Elvis TV movie, which I do have, by the way. Which I guess I didn't realize it was Shout Select, but which is the first pairing of John Carpenter and Kurt Russell. But I love that version of Elvis that he did early on. I just wanted to see if I missed any other ones here, but yeah, I guess there's importing, right? There's a lot of importing issues, right, with different things from the U.S. to Canada and all that.
It's like it gets a little bit more pricey. Like Shout Select we find around here sometimes, like at our local Sunrise Records, which is a 4-hour drive for me. But they do put out a lot of good different stuff. The next is one that everybody needs to have is Nighthawks, which is such a good film. This might be one of my favorite films with Stallone, and like right up there. I love First Blood, but I love this film. Nighthawks is great. This is the first like North American film for Rutger Hauer, and he was stealing the show for this movie. And Stallone actually, there's a really, really good. There's an awesome interview with Stallone's agent at the time, who was really still a big proponent of Stallone, where Stallone actually like rewrote sequences of this film because Rutger Hauer was outshining him. It's a really, really good interview, which you really got to listen to. It's so good. This is such a good release. It's the first Shout Select I ever bought. Number 6, one of the early ones.
Have you ever seen?
Which I do recommend this one right here.
Oh yeah. Oh, Valley Girl. I love that movie. That was one of my favorite movies as a kid. I love that one.
I was in love with Deborah Foreman, like I think a lot of 80s teens were.
Yep.
And this is what this and My Chauffeur and like the Deborah Foreman movies where you kind of really fall in love with her. Such a good movie. Nicolas Cage is really, really good in this.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And The original poster, I get a kick out of it because poor Deborah Foreman. So see this poster, guys. So this is Nicolas Cage,
but it's not Deborah Foreman.
It's not Deborah.
It's not Deborah Foreman. Yeah,
it's a girl that has a small part in the film as his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, I love the soundtrack, the Plimsolls. I love the Plimsolls. I mean, I think it's just amazing. Those songs in the club and everything like that are really, really good. I mean, I listened to those for years afterwards. Talking about soundtrack, right?
One of the best soundtracks.
April Fool's Day with Deborah Foreman.
I love that movie. Because we get Amy Steele from Friday 13th Part 2 as well.
Hey, that's coming up, April Fool's Day. Do you watch April Fool's Day on April Fool's Day?
I love it. I don't have the new one. I got to get the Scream Factory edition. I have the remake of April Fool's Day, which is really bad, but but I enjoy it for its badness. But the original is a classic. The remake has the girl from Halloween who played like Laurie in Halloween.
Yeah,
Scout Taylor Compton, and it has the Josh Henderson who played like John Ross in the Dallas reboot when they rebooted Dallas.
Right.
Not a good film, but it's fun.
But hey, that's okay, right? I mean, the Shout Select sale is going on to the end of the month then, because I'm trying to.
Yeah, there's one to check out, Dave. Because they got some really
definitely.
Good.
Oh, definitely. And like I said, I guess I didn't realize that Elvis title was a Shout Select one, but I do have that one. But Valley Girl definitely on my list. I don't even think I have a copy of that, so I think I need to.
It's right really good. They put a lot of features in there too.
Right after this, I'm going to be filling out my. Yeah, I don't know if you saw Criterion's doing Fast Times at Ridgemont High too, which is coming out soon, right?
I love that movie.
Yeah,
there's some movies great like soundtrack as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Wow, that's really great. If there's any other questions, I know we're kind of wrapping it up here. We're getting close to an hour here. So if there's any other questions, let us know in the comments. Thanks so much for joining us today too. I mean, this has been a lot of fun. I had a couple more things I wanted to, I don't know if you have this either. This is Warner Archive as well, but this is the Johnny Quest, which is really good. If I don't know if you have this one, but
I got the original DVD, but I don't have that one. That's I got upgrade. It's really great. I love Johnny.
I have to tell you too. I really hadn't seen the show since it came out, and I was so impressed with the colors and the soundtrack. I was really blown away by the soundtrack. Vanessa, thanks for joining us today too, by the way. And the other one is, again, with these new releases, I mean, the Jetsons looks amazing as well. The Jetsons, the original series. Do you have the DVDs on this one? Do you have the DVDs or?
Yeah, I recently picked up the Diamond DVD set that came out from Walmart.
Does it have this one has a commentary on a couple episodes and then a couple of other special features, which look kind of cool. And I'll just show a couple more of these too that I have. The Man with Two Brains, we talked about that. Wait Until Dark, which is really good. I recently saw an interview with Alan Arkin saying how tough it was for him to play kind of heavies in the beginning of his career. And this was one of the ones he said he really had a tough time with. And then, of course, he talks about The In-Laws. I was watching him talk about The In-Laws, which is one of my favorite movies as well. And Criterion's got a great release of that one. And he was just saying how difficult it was. He just preferred maybe to do comedy. And The In-Laws has so many funny moments in it as well. I don't know if you have the Criterion of that one, but that's one of my favorite films too.
I love The In-Laws, him with Peter Falk.
Yeah.
But I love Wait Until Dark. Like he does a great heavy in that. Like he's chilling in that film.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And it's so good to see him do that. I love that film. I don't own that film yet, but I do.
It's a great movie.
I got a DVD, old DVD. I got to get the new one.
Yeah, it's really good. Cooper Glover says Wait Until Dark. That's where Audrey Hepburn does play a blind woman in that. Yeah, and she's great in it too. I think Alan Arkin was just happy to be with Audrey Hepburn and kind of playing with her. But he talks about like other projects that he did that he liked a little bit more than kind of playing the bad guy. But it's been so much fun today, Aaron. We have to do this more often, and it's probably me because I got involved in this new job, and then you're busy with your new job and everything like that. But I feel like we should.
I always love it.
Yeah, we should definitely do this more often because I so love your channel. You're one of my favorites on YouTube, and I plan to get back. Usually, if I don't catch the live stream, I'm watching it later, which you can always do. You have such great content, and as I mentioned before, you're just an amazing host. I feel like. Because as people are coming in, I can only do a little bit of what you do, which is kind of trying to be fun.
Like this has been a really consistent show. Like
that's cool. All the way through. Yeah, that's cool. No, I'm glad. Well, thanks. So we'll definitely have to do this again. Like I said, I feel like the last time we did this was in November, and so it's been a few months. Brian and everyone else, thanks for the kind words in the comments. We really appreciate it. We'll try to do this one more often. As I said before, I'm going to link to your channel and also your Patreon too. So I don't know if you want to say anything more about that before we close it up, and then you and I can stick around for a couple minutes afterwards for sure.
It's the Live Movie Club is my Patreon channel. I call the guys the Crimson Cult. It's fun. Next week I'm doing a live video for the just before on my regular channel for the Vinegar Syndrome before the announcement. Then I'm switching over to my Patreon channel, do a Patreon exclusive video with the live reaction, and talking about the announced titles that are coming up. There are 10 titles Vinegar Syndrome are announcing on the 26th. So that's
cool.
That should be good.
That's what's coming up. Yeah. Matthew was asking about, do I ever go to because I live near the Rochester area in New York. I don't go to the Thursday horror series, but Matthew, if you're the one that always asks me about my favorite fish song, I'll tell you right now, it's hard to pick a fish song, but I'll just tell you that it's Yem. Okay. Matthew will understand what I mean there. I don't really talk about it too much on the channel, but I'm a big Fish fan, Phish, because there's another band called Fish too. But Yem is the one, at least the one that's coming to me today. So thanks everyone so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And Aaron, again, great to see you. If you want to stick around for a couple minutes too, we can chat offline here. Thanks to everyone in the comments, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the weekend. And we'll talk to you soon.